Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Fiore, your professor of film and winner of not one, not two, but four Videographer Awards. Have you ever gone to a film that made your head hurt? Now, I should probably explain that a little bit because, as in most things in life, there are two types of hurt. One is when it hurts because the movie is just horrendously bad. For example, last year's Vice with Christian Bale was so slathered with progressive socialist agenda items that it was painful to watch. Same thing happened with the last three Rosamund Pike films. They were distorted, revisionist history films, and they were painful. And this is a shame because I really like Rosamund Pike. I really do. And her last three movies have just been, oh my God, gag. Okay. Now I'm talking about a good kind of hurt. The kind of movie when as you're watching it, you're going, whoa, wait, I found one. And here's the best. It's an independent movie. I love when you see independent movies and all of a sudden out of nowhere, you get a gem, a diamond in the rough, something that you're watching and you can tell it's an independent movie. One guy does everything in the movie and it's made on a budget of $27.36. This thing had my head reeling. I went, wow, I really like this thing. Cinematic class is about to begin. The professor is in. Now, if I sounded a little excited in my opening, it's because I really enjoyed this movie. It had my mind going in all kind of pretzel logic ways. And it's an independent film, and it's from Stockholm. So it's in English, you don't have to read it, and that's good because it's... tell you what it's like. You ever see the Star Trek movies and even some of the TV episodes that deal with the time-space continuum? And it's always very tricky when you deal with that because, the slightest little change and you can, have a Ray Bradbury effect and hear a distant sound of thunder. Those kinds of things are kind of intricate and they're convoluted because you got to watch, you keep the timeline and all. It's similar to that. This movie, and let me make sure I get all these guys right. These are Swedish names, so I don't want to sound like the Swedish chef when I say them. Bjorn Eggstrom is the one-man band behind this thing. He wrote it, he directed it, he did the cinematography, and he did the editing. Editing. Are you ready for this? This movie is 65 minutes long. That's it. And there's kind of a trend coming out in independent films where the movies are getting shorter. Hey, I'm a big fan of this. In Hollywood's golden days, a long movie was 90 minutes. A lot of the classics came in around 70 to 80 minutes. That's all that was necessary to tell the story if you had good writers. This one comes in at 65 minutes and it'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Now, you got to be a little bit nerdy, you got to be a little bit geeky, and you got to really like science fiction. This movie it begins with scientist groupies, okay? They're all madly in love with this brilliant mind, think, I don't know, who's like the main huge star in science or whatever. Not the TV guys, real guys. And he calls them into this room, and basically that's your whole movie. The rest of the movie takes place in this one room. Now, there are just a few of the stereotypes that go along with being a science nerd running through this, and it has a conclusion, which I'm sure many scientists would want to happen. But those foibles aside, this thing... you're sitting there wondering, where's this going? Wait, what just happened there? And then it's like, wait, what's going on here? And with very minimal special effects, probably didn't cost more than a dime, he puts together a really good tale. It's basically 4 people in a room, and this thing had me going. I was like, oh, yeah. Back when I was growing up, long time ago, people were really getting into the old marijuana thing. You know, at colleges, they would sit around and say hi. And I think there was even a scene in Animal House like this where they're smoking joints with their professor, and he says, wait a minute, you know, we could be living in a molecule in the fingernail of a large being, and everyone's going like, wow, that trippy kind of stuff. Yeah, well, this movie is kind of like that. You're sitting there going, what the hell is happening here? And it's easy to follow, so you don't get lost in the, the gobbledygook and the jargon of all the scientific things. And no, I did not sit down and see if all the mathematical equations work. Science is very much tied into math, and the two of them are here. So anybody who's got a hankering for science or math, you're going to fall over backwards for this movie. I thought this thing was really good. I'm listing it. I know it's only the end of February here, but I'm listing this as one of my best movies of the year, and it's an indie. It's going to go completely unnoticed. Hollywood isn't going to notice anything about this thing, and it is really a good story. The movie is called Tangent Room. It is made in Stockholm. Great science fiction. And, you know, I almost hate to say this because I have always preached that any filmmaker worth his salt will never, ever use jump cuts. This movie is the exception to the rule. I actually found one. Now, I started doing film reviews back in 1976 and have never seen a jump cut used well. It kind of is here. It's cheating to say that they're jump cuts because they're kind of sort of not. They're really special effects, but they kind of look like jump cuts. So this may be the one time that you could say, aha, never say never, Fjord, because they worked in Tangent Room, and they do. It's amazing how they put this thing together. I was sitting there drinking this morning cup of coffee, and I'm going, better make this an espresso. This is going to take some deep thought to get through. 4 people in a blank room, 4 notepads, 4 pens, 2 blackboards. That's it, the entire movie. And you'll sit there and go, damn, how are they going to get out of this one? It's really that good. The movie is called Tangent Room. From our friends over there in Sweden. I really like this one a lot, I do. Some of the stars in this for you, let me get these names for you right. Lisa Bear Park, Jennifer Leah Knight, Vilmol. I blew that one. Vilmomal, Molmal, and Hakeem Ulander. I hope I'm saying that right. They're Swedish, and and Daniel Epstein. I got that one. I got that right. They all do a great job in this. They really do. I've never heard of any of them, but they do a really good job acting in this, and they suck you into their characters and the trials and tribulations that are happening in this one little room on a remote scientific research study. Tangent Room. You're going to like this one. It's really good. And it's all done in an hour, so it's sweet all the way around. Now that you have learned what you have learned, here endeth your lesson.